to Live to Thrive podcast. I'm your host, Lizzie, and today I am joined by Francisca.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Pretty good. I'm excited.
No, I'm so happy you're here, honestly.
I love what you're doing. This space is amazing, and I'm excited to get started.
I'm so happy you're here. So Francisca and I are actually friends, believe it or not.
Yes.
And we have connected in so many ways, but we wanted to connect on Live to Thrive just because I feel like you have a lot of information that my audience needs to hear.
Okay.
And I just want to start from the beginning. Like, where were you born and raised?
Yeah, absolutely. From the beginning, the origin. So I am from Boston, Mass, and I am Haitian American, so first generation Haitian, and loving it. I rep it all the time. You can ask a lot of people. One thing about me, they'll know that I'm Haitian. So yes.
I love that. Yeah. And you said you were born and raised in Boston.
Yes.
How long did you stay out here, and how did you end up in Seattle?
Yeah, oh man, that's such a layered story. So I've been out here for about a year and a half, but I was found or sought after during COVID. A small agency out here reached out, and it was COVID, so I said yes because I didn't have to initially move, and everyone was working from home, and it was hard for people to get jobs. So I said yes. Why not? Why not continue to do this? And what I was doing prior to landing this job was actually doing weekly Thursday Instagram lives, and with people of color from advertising, just to show people that we are out here in advertising and we need more representation. So every Thursday at 7 for like 45 minutes, I'd get on live, Instagram live, and then with people that I've worked with in the past, just talking about their specific path, their journey. They're in accounting or accounts or creative, and they just spoke specifically about that just to educate everyone else, because I know so many creatives that I feel like would find it beneficial for them to be in advertising to sharpen their skills and learn some things. So I mean, some jobs came out of it, opportunities came out of it, connections came out of it, and a job. I got a job.
I honestly love that, and so that's where I feel like you and I connected a lot, was because we both in advertising.
Yes.
We connected on that, and we first became my mentor, and now we were like friends, still my mentor, but friends first. But honestly, the reason why we were connected was because of that mentorship, and that mentorship meant that I myself in advertising, I needed someone who looked like me, because in this field of advertising, there's not many people who look like us. So when I heard that you were around and you were in advertising and you were at one of the agencies here in Seattle, and Chris Witherspoon, shout out, was like, you need to meet Francisca because you guys can connect and she can be your mentor. I mean, that's a huge thing in advertising, especially with people of color, because it's like, who do we connect with if you don't have the same people who look like you in the room?
Agreed.
So for me, you were kind of like that saving grace for me. How did you actually navigate your way through advertising? Like, did you also sort out mentors? Like, how did you navigate your path through advertising?
Interestingly, I agree with everything you said, especially in leadership. I feel like we don't find a lot of representations when it comes to advertising. You find a lot of entry level and maybe a few supervisors, but I'm actually now starting to see people of color in just AMD level, and that's not even so high up, but it's hard to find, and it is important to seek it out. The way I navigated it was actually in Boston. There is this group called Black at Mullen. I worked at many agencies in Boston, large agencies, and DNA was actually my first small one. But the large agency had a group called Black at Mullen, and it wasn't anything at first. It was just us coming together, like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one, and to the point where it was like my first week of working, and they just kind of came up to my desk. I mean, it's the floor full of people, open floor, and they came up to my desk and said hi, and I was just like, what's happening, like. And they just came up just to say, like, hey, we're on the second floor or whatever, the floor below you. We'll seek you out for lunch. Keep a lookout for emails. And from there, I that made such an impact on me that that's what I do moving forward in any agency I'm at.
I
So
love
anytime
that.
I see a person of color, I'm reaching out and I'm saying, hey, welcome to wherever I am.
Yeah.
You know, if you have any questions, we actually was able to start one at the agency I was at last. It didn't necessarily pick up. It was like for fun because it was picking up in just talent and peoples of color and talent. So we wanted to kind of like rally us together, especially because we were remote. So we had some people in LA, some people on the East Coast, and some people in Seattle. So wanted to kind of corral everyone together and be like, hey, I have never seen this much people together, and let's use each other as a resource, whether it's in here or outside of here. Let's continue to build that connection.
Yeah.
So it's really about being intentional.
Yeah.
Like when you're in those spaces, it's about being intentional and reaching out, whether
Yeah.
you're the one reaching out or responding to those that reach out to you.
Yeah.
Because not everyone wants to be part of that environment either.
Yeah.
Interestingly.
Yeah, no, I hear that, and I love that you did that, because I feel like you would have helped so many people who are breaking into the industry, and like just creating that connection between people is like such a huge positive, because I feel like if there's, you know, I feel like also advertising is kind of competitive, you know,
yeah.
and it's like even competitive like within your work environment. It's like if you have the best idea, or like also even just like with coworkers, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, it can be really iffy, you know.
That's
what
true.
I mean? Like,
Oh, man.
you know,
Yeah.
trying to do, you know, stay cool, because everybody in advertising, you have to like know all the trends, and it's like you have to just be
Yeah.
on top of your game, and if you're not, you're kind of looked down upon, you know.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but enough with that. I want to
Okay.
know because I want to know more about your projects. So you came to Seattle for a job. Love
Yes.
that. And how long have you been in Seattle for?
Yeah, so like a year and a half, but prior to actually living in Seattle, when things were okay to travel, you know, so COVID was for about a year, and when things were okay to travel, they flew us out once a quarter,
Yeah.
which is really great. But every
Yeah.
time I came out once a quarter, I stayed minimum 2 weeks, because I mean, I'm coming across the country, never been to Seattle, and it was my opportunity to really lean into this new life, like
Yeah.
this new possibility of life. So I was with the company for 4 years.
Wow.
So 1 week during COVID, so at home, 2 traveling, and then a year and a half doing like the fully living here in
Yeah.
Seattle. Like got my lease and everything. I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
That's crazy. Also, it's really crazy to think about COVID is 5 years ago.
I know.
That's
I know.
5 years ago,
Feels
yo.
like a
It
lifetime.
feels like a lifetime ago,
Yeah.
but also it feels like it was literally yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like a weird
Yep.
situation.
I could agree. It's
you
like a
know?
time lapse.
I know.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like time is not even real during COVID.
I
I
know.
swear.
It was so bad. And I know that you've worked with a lot of brands. Can you, because I see these brands and I'm like, these are big ass brands.
Yeah, they were pretty big brands.
Yeah. Can you like tell us what was your most challenging brand to work on?
Oh, the most challenging. I would have to say. I would have to say. Oh man.
Take your time.
Yeah, I know. It's like I
Yeah.
want to say it, but then it's like
Yeah.
There's context to it. I would have to say Amazon Fresh, and not because the work was hard.
Yeah.
Because the work was actually very familiar to me, and I raised my hand to be on the account.
Yeah.
But it's because I knew a surefire way of us to succeed and build case studies. I had so much vision.
Yeah.
For that account that it was a little hard it was a little hard to bring to life when you don't necessarily have the support.
Yeah.
And that was frustrating. Not necessarily the clients. The clients were amazing. I
Yeah.
would say all my clients actually have been amazing, but
Yeah.
struggling in terms of what I think is best and what the team think is best, and just finding that middle ground. That
Yeah.
was a struggle.
Yeah.
And learning how to navigate that.
Yeah. And when it comes to like working on brands and stuff, what is the first thing that you bring? Like, what is the first thing that you, first of all, actually, scrap that. what department are you in?
Media.
Media.
So I'm media. Yes, always have been.
Love media. Shout out media. I'm also media. But
We out here.
yeah, we out here. So working in the media department, when you have to work on a brand, what is the first kind of step that you take to like navigating how you want your brand strategy to be, where you want to have your ads? Like how do you navigate that?
It's interesting. I feel like it's another layered question.
Yeah.
I would have to honestly know the client first.
Yeah.
Because while it is a brand,
Yeah.
I feel like the client also has to sell it to their higher up. So it's really understanding your client first. Okay, what do they like? How do they like, ideas presented? What's important to them in terms of metrics?
Yeah.
From there and understanding the clients in totality, then we can go to the drawing board of like, okay, this is what we need to show for them to feel comfortable and confident in our work.
Yeah.
So it's really understanding the client.
Yeah.
And then once understanding the client, what is important to the client when they get in front of their board?
Yeah.
Like what do they need to present?
Yeah.
So we can create what we need to create.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what was the biggest fuck up you've done in advertising?
Oh man, it's been a while since I've done a big fuck up. So yeah, I even was asked this in an interview and I was like, I don't. The only thing I can think about was way, way back. I wasn't really in advertising. It was in merchandising.
Yeah.
And I think I replied all to an email where I should have just replied to one person. Yeah. So it was that. Yeah. And that was a while ago. After that, it's like P's and Q's. Yeah, that one was bad. I'll never forget that.
I love that. Oh, yeah. I mean, my biggest fuck up, I feel like, was overspending on a campaign and having to explain
why it was overspent.
why it overspent and how I set up the campaign. And it was not a fun conversation, but it happened.
It's a learning lesson, yeah. And then you I don't know, then you become an expert in that thing because it's like, I'll never do that again.
I'll never, you learn really quickly.
Yeah.
You learn really quickly. And so in addition to your professional work, I know that you are super passionate about community building.
Yes.
And I want to get into that. So I know you're the co-founder of Serenity Urban Retreat. Mm-hmm. So can you tell me a little bit about that and what you do?
Yeah, that was started back in 2016. With a friend and co-business owner with myself from college. And it was about bringing, this is how it started. She sent me a message of like Black people in white and at a dinner. And she's like, I'd love to do this. I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
I'm a why not person. You come to me with an idea and we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So we started off with like 15 people. I was like, okay, we can find a space. We had someone with a beautiful, huge backyard. We found a space, made it free, and set up the kind of like the blueprint of that, where we brought people of color together. It was themed with clothes. So you wear certain colors to the event, and then they bring drinks. The guests bring drinks. We'll take care of the food, and it was catered. So we would get a Black-owned Boston caterer.
I love that.
And then you would choose your meal prior to showing up. So it's like a whole event. Like you come dressed up, you come with your drink because we need a community bar, and it helped with costs just because drinks are expensive.
Yeah.
So we have the mixers ready. We'll have all the juices and ice, but just bring the liquor and then come in the clothes. And then we took like a picture with everyone together, and you saw this like monochromatic, like everyone wearing the same colors.
That.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So I actually adapted that to every gathering that I have now. Now it's like, it's my blueprint now.
Yeah.
It's such a nice look when it's all come together.
Yeah.
And my friend was mainly the decor person. She thought of all the decor, even down to food. I wasn't really a foodie. I was the planner. I mean, I'm in media.
Yeah.
So I planned everything, took care of all the budgets, and it was really just to bring people of color together, just to be in good vibes. It was outside event every year. Good food, good vibes, and good conversation. That was our tagline.
I love that.
Yeah. So it was pretty good.
You have a lot of ideas and things that like align with some of the ideas that I've come with. Like when I was living in Santa Barbara, and I feel like every time you talk about it, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, bring it back to life.
I know, like such similar ways of thinking. I like, it's crazy. And then I know that you were the marketing director of Queen's Co. So can you tell me about that?
That was another founder experience where this was post-college, and I met some amazing women post-college. And one of the girls, she's also heavy on planning, but she's more of like, she does it like on a grander scale. I mean, like you would never think things that she thinks of. I'm just like, whoa, you went 10 times what I would have done.
Yeah.
Or what I think anybody would have done. And it's always comes out amazing to the point where we went out to dinner and then she posted it and everyone was like, what is this event? Like, that's what she mentioned. She said, what is this event? We would love to go. And she told us, she came back to us and was like, hey, you know that dinner that we had just for New Year's? Like, people are asking about an event. We should just make a business. And we're just in her living room and we're all like, what?
That's...
You want us to, huh?
Yeah.
And from there, I mean, it happened. We met every week. We had dues in the beginning. And then after that, it became a membership based. So we had women from around Boston actually pay yearly or monthly to be part of this group. We had dinners once a quarter. It was mainly focused. We had 4 pillars around entrepreneurship, finance, health, and wellness. It was really well thought out. It was a business.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 100% a business, and it was great to start.
Yeah. And do you think you're going to pick it up again?
We tried to, life happens. When we were post-college, you don't really have anything going on, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like no school, just work, and it's kind of like you're starting life a little bit. So it went on for quite some time, maybe 6 years, 6 to 7 years, and then life happens. People move, people get married, people have kids, and time gets limited. So I think we would love to start it up again. Yeah, maybe in the future, but it's gonna be a hard one. Yeah.
Well, I feel like I know you have a new chapter coming.
Yeah.
And so tell us about that, like, because I know you're moving back to Boston. Like, come on, you just got here.
No, I'm moving to Chicago.
I mean, not Boston, Chicago. Look at me.
Yes. Moving up again. Oh man, it's like I just feel like life is like flipping me around, but I'm trying to keep up and honestly, with God's grace and always in prayer, whatever my next step is, I make sure to stick with that. Yeah. And check in first, like, God, is this good? Am I doing the right move? Yeah. But I'm heading to Chicago, got a new gig, and honestly, after leaving Boston for Seattle, I feel like that opened up the floodgates for anything was possible. Yeah. Because when I was looking outside of this Seattle agency, I was like anywhere except Boston, actually. Yeah. I was looking up anywhere. Yeah. I was looking at LA, down south, all the things, and then Chicago became a continuous kind of like place that people were interviewing, and I was like, wait a minute, Chicago's a hub. Like, that is, when you think about advertising and you think about moving up, people want people from East Coast, like Boston, New York for sure, New York, LA for West Coast, Chicago for Midwest. For like Midwest. Those are like your advertising hubs. And I was like, I want to be in that mix. I want to rub shoulders with who I need to, because I have dreams, I have goals. So that's why Chicago's on the board. It's gonna be. It's no Seattle. It's like 5 times the size. Oh my gosh, it's massive.
I'm so excited for you and your new adventure. And what advice would you give someone who is of color that is looking to break into the advertising industry and may not have the opportunities that me and you may have had? How would you advise them on getting their foot in the door?
Yeah, getting your foot in the door is very hard because it's a very tight-knit industry where people know people. It's not necessarily like an industry where, like medical field, you take a test and then you become a doctor, or like a lawyer, you go to the school for X amount of years. Advertising is like, you have to be persistent. You have to be consistent, persistent, and you have to just weather through all the no's. There's going to be so many no's, but the advice I would say is continue to make those connections. Talk to everyone you have to talk to, past people, and maybe not necessarily like, hey, you guys hiring, but more so like, hey, how did you get to where you're at? Like, just talking to someone that's where they're a little bit ahead of you so you can learn what steps they took, but having those conversations for sure. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of no's, but the more attempts you have, it just shows perseverance and the tough skin that you have to have once you're in the doors anyways. It doesn't go away.
Guys, I cry like every other day.
Yeah. It's intense. But you love it. You gotta love it.
I love that. And how do you deal, talking about crying every other day. Yeah. Me, not Francisca, because I'm a crybaby. So let's remember that. How do you deal with conflict in the workspace as a woman of color?
Yeah, I mean, I've had some tears too, for sure. Dealing with conflict, I'm going to be very practical, like steps. You have to write things down. Things have to be, at least for me, I'm speaking from my experience and not necessarily for, this is the surefire way, but writing things down with a timeline and making sure that you're in constant communication with someone that you trust, that is higher up though. Like that's super important because then they could vouch for you.
Yeah.
Because what I have found as a person of color, at least in advertising, I can't speak to other industries, but I've heard similar things, is that they do attack us. I don't know why. That is a truth. That is something that is not necessarily spoken about outside of us.
Yeah.
But we are attacked all the time. And the best thing that we can at least start to do is align ourselves with someone higher up. Maybe not a person of color, but definitely higher up, whether they are or not, and writing down everything and making sure that it is outlined. So dealing with conflict. And then that's the best thing I can think of now, because I would hate for anyone to just recoil and shut down. Don't do that. That is their ammo. The minute you shut down, the minute you're like, oh, I'm not dealing with this person, I don't talk to them anymore, they won, and they are going to use that as to like flood you out. Like, you can't shut down. You got to keep it pushing. I know that's one of the things my coworkers said when I was dealing through something was like, you still smile. Like, we can't even tell, but we know it's happening because you tell us and we kind of hear side remarks, but it's the fact that we don't see you. You're like, you're still happy. You still smile. Like, what is that? Like, that's what you have to keep. Like,
I love
don't let them
that.
take that away from you.
Damn, you like preaching to this choir right here.
It's hard, man. Like,
It's so
it's hard. Yeah, and the tears are real.
And the
real.
tears are real, but like at the end of the day, it helps you get a thick skin and you're able to, it's like because I feel like I'm such a softie. Like, I'm so soft. I want to help anybody and everybody. But at the end of the day, we just need to realize that the world doesn't love us.
Yeah, not all the time. No.
Not all the time. And so, like, when you open yourself up to that criticism and stuff like that, like you said, writing it down, advocating for yourself, don't shut down, keep fighting. Because at the end of the day, you are building yourself up to help that next person that looks like you, who is also trying to come through the door, who is also like feeling, out of place and not feeling like they wanted. So like that's the whole point of Live to Thrive, is to give those tips and those tricks to people who are looking for advice to take that next step in that career. And I mean, it also just depends on like where you are in your career. Like for you are now a senior, you up there, and so and you fought to be and you fought to be where you are, right? And then you have someone that's coming in entry level. You could be that mentor for that person. You could give them those tips and tricks to be like, write everything down, advocate for yourself, do not, and that's the kind of stuff that we need to get out there into the world.
And I would add also, as much as you're writing things down, you also know when to leave as well. So like, keep everything, keep the smile on your face, write things down, but also do your exit plan. Get out of that place, because they're not. I remember seeing this on TikTok, and I listened to it every so often. It was like, you can't make someone value you who chooses not to value you. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, how late you work, how many kudos the clients give you, if your team doesn't want to value you, they won't. They won't. Yeah. And it's simply because they don't want you there right now. Like, and that's not on you. That's not on any. Just have your exit plan as well as writing things down, having your support system, but also exit that space, because that's not an environment that anyone can thrive in. Yeah. Like, no, you don't want to. You don't want to be in that space.
I honestly love what you just said, because it just reminded me of something my mom told me the other day, because she loves like self-help me books. And she was talking about like this saying where if you're in a hard situation, just like repeating, let them think this, let them try push you out the door, let them, talk behind your back. Let them do X, Y, and Z, because it helps you let go of things that you can't control.
Yeah.
And then turning it back. Let me plan my exit plan.
Yeah.
Let me write down my timeline. Because if you are putting their stuff on you, you can't focus on what
leaving.
you
Yep.
need to do and what's good for your mental health, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So
that's perfectly
just
said.
letting go. Okay, they being rude, they talking behind your back. Let them. But at the end of the day, focus on you. Let me plan. Let me get out the door. Let me update my resume.
Exactly.
Let me take them coins while I'm looking for my next gig. You know what I mean? So it's like, and that's like, just the art of letting go.
Yeah, that is an art for sure. It's something that you have to think about over and over. It's not easy. I remember being in France with my family and like looking at certain emails and Slacks and everything and like having a panic attack, and my family's like, just put it away. Yeah. And I had to like, I'm in France. Like, what the freak?
What the hell am I doing?
I had to disconnect because it was affecting, it was just too much. It got too deep. It was too deep.
Yeah, no.
So I had to let go. Damn, there was going to be something else I wanted to say about the let them.
Yeah.
It'll come. Oh, I was going to say there was one particular instance where, I mean, if it resonates with anyone, where they do have people of color on the team and then they bring another person of color, and instead of saying like, hey, this is the team, it's like they almost kind of like fight. I feel like they try to play favorites. Yeah. Kind of like they should only be one. Yeah. And it's like, wait a minute, what's happening? I thought we were like being more diverse and we're bringing more ideas in. I would also say I've had an instance where in one case, I feel like the girl knew and she was just like, I'm not talking to you because they don't like you. Yeah. And there was another case where we actually talked before everything and we were like, I think we were both senior too. And we just kind of explained like, we see what's going on. We see clearly what they're doing. She's like, I'm not going to badmouth you in the space wherever they're talking about you. I know you do great work. It's not just because you're a person of color or a woman of color. It's because I've seen you do your work. And and she understood to where I felt like I had an ally, even though they were doing what they were doing. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like those are also situations that we have to navigate.
No, 100%. And it's like you have to build that community for yourself because, I've felt that in some of my experiences in this career. And like, you're like, oh, so I'm like the least favorite black girl. You know what?
Is that?
And you're like, what? It's like, no, we all people. We all trying to make money. We all trying to do our work. We all enjoying our work because I love this industry. It just needs more diversity in it.
It's
but
so crazy.
With that being said, I would love to know your last thought on for Live to Thrive. Like any advice that you can give to my listeners.
Any advice? I mean, I feel like there's tidbits in here, so I'll do like a takeaway. Yeah, it's definitely the let them so you can move on. Like that is the biggest thing because if you are in an environment that does not value you, they will not value you. Like they won't. Yeah, no matter what you do. So, like you mentioned earlier, let them, and then focus on your exit plan to leave that environment. Yeah, yeah, and so that you can continue to thrive. You know, you don't want your story to always be like, I fought. Yeah. Like, I want some places where I'm like, that was a great place. Yeah. I'd recommend anyone to go. I'd go back. Like, I don't want to leave every place simply because, like, they didn't see my value. Yeah. So, yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And where can people follow you?
Yeah. Instagram. So, @_Siscafran, SISCAFRAN. Yeah. And then LinkedIn, if you want to chat, I'm totally open to having like 15, 30-minute calls with anyone that's trying to get into the industry or even move up, because even moving up is a whole nother struggle. So yeah, I love that. And I'll have everything in the show notes. But I'm so happy that you came on Live to Thrive podcast, and I wish you all the best in Chicago. Thank you so much. I'm so excited for you. This was amazing. Yay. And with that, I'll see you all next week. Alrighty. Bye.